Hey, leaders across America, how are you? Joe Linhart here, talking leadership again with you today. And we've got a leadership word of the week to talk about today. And it's one that I spend a lot of time talking to students and mentees and friends about all the time. It's one of my favorites, and we only have 5 minutes. So let me get right to it. Communication. Communication. Isn't that a powerful word in the world of leadership? And really in the world of life, isn't it? And so today I thought about how to approach this, and I want to today be that guy. I want to be a lister. So I created a list of 3 things that we have time for today in no specific order, and these are not a top 3. These are just a critical 3, right? As I started thinking about it, I've not always been perfect, but I've tried to be really intentional about communicating with our staff, with our leaders, with our board, whoever it may be, right? And so my first one on the list today for you to think about is over communication. I talk about this with students a lot. To make that your policy to be an over communicator. And what does that look like? Well, I'll tell you a quick story. Many years ago, I was in the midst of a major project. And I would email my boss throughout the night, 2:30 in the morning, all evening. I would call this particular leader and just really wanted him to be in the know. And so we were in a one-on-one one day, and he looked at me and he said, "Joe, don't be apologetic about over communicating ever. Until you hear from me otherwise, you keep over communicating, right? Because the alternative is really not good. I don't like surprises." Okay. And so ever since then, I've tried to share that with people on my teams as well. Let's be over communicators. Better safe than sorry that way. Transparency, number 2. This is a key word that has helped me so much as a leader in our culture and in my relationships. I don't mean let's give up all of the company secrets. We can't share everything as leaders. I understand that. But we can share a whole lot, right? We can be transparent about our data and our results. We can certainly cast vision. We can share strategic planning and initiatives, and in turn create hope, as we've talked about here before, right? When we're transparent with our teams, people feel trusted, they feel valued, and frankly, they feel connected. Those are 3 powerful things as well, right? And so number 3 on my list today is a little different. I want to talk to you about your one-on-ones. I'm talking about your one-on-ones with your staff and your one-on-ones with your boss. I had a boss, a leader, many years ago again, who taught me something that stuck with me. He said, "Listen, Joe, if you're going to have a meeting, for example, with the president or with the chancellor of the university for 1 hour a week, have the good sense to prepare for up to 1 hour for that meeting." And I thought, wow, that's a lot of preparing, isn't it? But aren't we better when we walk into one of those one-on-ones with a really busy guy or gal, right? And we know our data. We have questions written, right? We have done some reflection on our performance and how things are going. Because aren't these the questions you're going to get? And when you can come across as prepared and confident and sincere, all of those things matter so much in how that leader across from you is viewing you as not just an employee and a performer, but as a person. And so 3 things: over communicate, be transparent, and prepare for one-on-ones, not just for yourself, but for your employees as well before you meet with those guys. Okay? So until next week, those are some of my thoughts this week. I hope you're doing well. And folks, my final thought is keep rippling out there with your people and make a difference in their lives. Because after all, that's really all that matters when it's all said and done and the book is over. Okay? We'll talk to you soon.